He mocked the Adhan, and something terrifying happened that night. Purpose: to show the seriousness of mocking sacred Islamic rituals, and the mercy and justice of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, have you ever heard of someone mocking the Adhan, the beautiful call to prayer, only to face something terrifying that same night? Tonight, I am going to share with you a true and chilling story of a man who laughed at the Adhan, and what Allah showed him that very night will leave your heart trembling. This isn't just a story, it's a warning, a wake-up call, and a reminder that the sacred symbols of Islam are not to be taken lightly. This real-life incident was narrated by an imam in a small North African town. Many scholars and khutbah speakers have repeated it, and it has circulated widely over the years. There was a man, middle-aged, well-off, but arrogant. He wasn't religious. In fact, he used to openly mock anything related to Islam, especially things that reminded him of accountability. One day, during the Maghrib Adhan, the Muedin's voice echoed from the minaret across the town as usual. But this man, sitting in a tea shop with his friends, laughed and said, mockingly, "Why does he scream like that every day? Doesn't he get tired? Tell him to get a mic that works." He didn't stop there. He mimicked the Adhan with a mocking tone, intentionally twisting the words, making fun of the voice and the phrases. The people around him were shocked. One elderly man at the cafe said to him softly, "Fear Allah, brother. This is not something to joke about." But the man only laughed harder. That night, something happened. His family reported that he went to sleep around 11 p.m. Nothing seemed unusual, but by Fajr, his wife woke up to find him completely paralyzed, eyes wide open, breathing fast, but unable to move, unable to speak. They rushed him to the hospital. Doctors were confused. No heart attack, no stroke, no injury, just sudden, total paralysis. He was conscious but couldn't talk, and when they looked into his eyes, they saw pure terror, as if he had seen something no one else could see. He stayed in that state for 2 days, and then he passed away. When news of his death spread, many people were reminded of the incident at the cafe. The elderly man who warned him gave testimony of what he heard. Others confirmed. The imam of the masjid said, "This is a reminder for all of us. We don't judge the dead, but when someone mocks the symbols of Allah, and something like this happens immediately after, it is a message, a warning, and Allah tells us clearly in the Quran, and whoever honors the symbols of Allah, indeed, it is from the piety of hearts. And also, say, was it at Allah, and His verses, and His messenger that you were mocking? Make no excuse. You have disbelieved after you had believed." Mocking the Adhan is not a joke. It's mocking the call to Allah. The same call that shakes the hearts of believers, the same call that echoes in the heavens. My dear brothers and sisters, the Adhan is not just a call, it is a declaration of Tawheed, of Allah's greatness, of our need to pause everything for prayer. When someone mocks the Adhan, they mock La 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 Allah, and that is dangerous. But this story isn't just about fear, it's about awakening. Maybe you've missed Salah, maybe you've said careless things, maybe you laughed at something religious in a movie or meme. Now is the time to repent. Allah is Al-Ghafur, the most forgiving. But we must not take His signs lightly. Even the Prophet warned, a man speaks a word without thinking about its seriousness, and because of it he will fall into hellfire farther than the distance between the east and the west. So the next time you hear the Adhan, stop, listen, say what the Mueddin says, and feel it in your heart, because that call is not from a man, it's from Allah, calling you home 5 times a day. Never laugh at what Allah has honored. Never mock what the Prophet upheld. Respect the Adhan, because you never know when your last day will come. If this story reached your heart, share it. Let it be a reminder, a warning, a spark for change. Subscribe to this channel for more real stories and spiritual lessons that bring us closer to Allah. Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.